Right, I didn't expect this. I've been selling on eBay for years, but eBay Live has completely flipped the game for me in the best way possible. In today's video, I'm pulling the curtain back on what really happens when you jump into live selling. The wins, the mistakes, the surprises, and how it's helping me move stock faster than ever. If you've been thinking about trying eBay Live or just want to see what's really like behind the scenes, stick around. This might actually change how you sell online. Good morning and welcome to the channel. If you're new around here, I'm Simon. I'm a full-time eBay reseller, specializing in clothing and specifically men's clothing. But today we're going to be talking about how I've been finding eBay Live selling. So as you can see, we've got kind of like, this was from a show last night. I'm going to get into exactly how it went, what my thoughts about it, what the processes were when it comes to actually getting onboarded and like getting eBay to actually take you on as a seller on eBay Live, the pitfalls, like kind of the positives and everything in between. So let's start off with actually how I got invited onto the eBay Live program. So as I said, like, how did it start? How did I get invited? How did I get onto the eBay Live selling program? Well, I was a little bit resistant to begin with. It wasn't something that was really on my radar. The main reason of why I kind of signed up to do it was because I went to an eBay event and the head of eBay Live actually asked me if I would consider actually doing it. So this was up in London, up in Richmond at eBay head office. I feel incredibly fortunate to be invited to this. So, and unfortunately it has started to rain, but they have got these gazebos out, so we're all good. Right, just about to sit down now, and Luke is on his own, as you can see. We've got a few more reprobates turn up. Andrew, Jamie Dodger. So I was like, I did say to him that I was going to give it a go because I was interested in having a look, like seeing how it would go. The process was you had to apply online. I'll see if I can show you. Right, this is the application that I had to fill out. So eBay Live Seller Application UK. One of the key things is you do have to be a business seller for them to even like consider you. You kind of go through like quite a lot of information. Are you over 18? What's your legal full name? Are you registered as a business? What's the business name, email contact, and then what category you're likely to be selling in. So for me, I'm in the fashion category. I do know that they've opened it up to a lot more categories. For example, I think the cards, that's been doing very well recently, but also collectibles, health and beauty, toys, comics. So they're definitely getting more traction as well. They do want people who are on other kind of platforms in regards of if you've got social media presence. I do think that they actually want you to do that, because why would they not? Like, they want you to actually try and promote their platform as best they possibly can without them having to like do too much work. So at the bottom, once you've filled everything out and you send it all off to them, it does state that it says, "Thank you for your interest in joining eBay Live. Our dedicated team will update you on your application status within 1 to 4 weeks of submission," which is quite a long time. I think it took me about a week, I think it was. Then they came back to me to say that what they needed to do was to do a health check on my store. Right, so what was the eBay health check all about? Well, it was a bit strange, I have to say. They arranged for a telephone call with me, and what they wanted to know was whether your store was in good fettle. So in other words, was it actually like in good standing? What were your return rates like? Did you understand the platform? Do you know about things like promoted listings? Do you know about how to look after your customers? And for me, like, it was fairly straightforward because I eat, sleep, breathe eBay. So I'm pretty much like, I knew every single like answer to like every single question. Now, I was told that the onboarding could take like 3 separate phone calls, and you needed to know most of the answers that they actually kind of gave you. So it was definitely not straightforward. I was in a fortunate, because I'm like, as I say, like eat and sleep and breathe this. I managed to like do all 3 calls in just 1 call. So that, I think, like put me in good stead to actually be onboarded a lot quicker than normal. So do be prepared to actually be grilled but about your store. Do just make sure that you're like prepared and you understand what is expected, because eBay have got very high standards. They want to make sure that if they bring someone onto their platform who's going to basically be an ambassador for their live selling, you need to like kind of like come across as like knowing how to actually run your store. So that was definitely a thing. I think if you are a little bit unsure about it, and this is not your main kind of like be all and end all, I do think like it might take a little bit longer, but they will guide you through and they will help you on that one without a doubt. Right, once you've done that and you've been accepted onto the program, you will then have to go through the onboarding. Now that one there was done on a Zoom call, and there was, I think, 4 other people who were like being onboarded as well at the same time. And what we basically went through was how to use the hub, how to put items online, and actually how to like use the selling platform. So it was definitely like kind of probably about an hour and a half, I think it took to actually go through that. It's not the most straightforward. It was a little bit complicated. I always think about when you do these kind of new things, it takes a little bit of time because it is completely new, and it just like, I think doing helps more. So the first time I was pretty nervous actually. So I'm normally okay behind a camera, so that wasn't a thing, but I was like more worried about it actually like going wrong and not knowing what to do. That was it. I was then completely onboarded, and they then wanted me to do my first ever live show. And I see what you have to do is schedule a show so people can actually see what's going on. Right, so on the 12th of October was when I had my first show. And honestly, I thought it went really well. I really enjoyed it. The one thing I would definitely say that I've learned that it is possible now to actually do it with one person. So you actually like you're presenting, you're showing people the items, but it's actually quite difficult to do the back end stuff. So it is definitely recommending to have 2 people doing it. One doing the presenting and one actually setting live and answering questions and all that side of it. And I was very lucky that my wife was happy to like help get involved, and she's been like absolutely incredible on that side of it. So I've done a couple of shows on my own completely, and it is possible, but it's, I suppose that interaction of having someone else in there as well was a bit nicer as well. Right, let's have a quick look at the overview. So this is my eBay Live, shows you what shows I've done. So if we go on to like the first one on here, so £1 start eBay Live, it kind of like, you can put your title in here, start date, a description, and you can actually put a thumbnail on there as well. Now, what I can then put on is my listings. So this will actually show you all the listings, and you can tell because these ones actually did sell. Now, then you go on to your live console. This is where everything gets driven. You've got in the middle here, this was like the camera like showing where I was. On the left hand side, you can see the items up for sale. So for example, just on here, we've got a threadbare jumper, new with tags. And what you would do is there's a little kind of pin. You click on that, that will then go into the live, and then what you can do is push start, and that will like start the auction if you're doing auctions. And once that's sold, it will then like just like kind of keep going until the next one. So as you can see, on this auction I had 43 items. The total time, I think it was about just under an hour, I think it was. Because it was my first show, I definitely got a boost from eBay. They kind of sent out notifications, so I had a total like viewers of 1,509, which is ginormous. Now, in regards to like how much I physically made on that show, live auction sales, which was £390.50. So is it like incredible money? I think it's okay. I really think the one key thing, and I would absolutely strongly like say to people, is that you need to make sure you have like your cost of goods need to be very low. I don't think this model works particularly well if you've got really high kind of buy costs. You need to be like at certainly under £1 an item. I try to like kind of get around 50-60p an item, but again, that's not always the case. It is also like worth having a look at when you like if you're looking to clear stock as well, maybe some older, more sticky stock, it might be worth it, but you have to be aware that you're not going to get as much as you would normally get. So last night I had another eBay live show, which went for just over an hour and a half, I think it was. And again, really enjoyed it. The whole interaction with your buyers, because it's a one-to-one thing, it's a really nice feeling. And had 60 items up for sale last night and sold every single one. So like clearing like the stock was like very good. Overall live auction sales yesterday, which was £404. Now I did get a couple of cancellations afterwards, but again, it's not the end of the world, and it is like the way it goes. But all in all, yeah, I was like really pleased with it, and it definitely seems to be a model. Now, the downside to it, which is the packing. So as you can see, these ones all sold last night. So we've got like nearly 2 racks full here, and there's some reasonably bulky items. We've got some jackets, we've got some coats. Now, these ones all have to be packed up this morning because I've got next day like postage. And this will take me a good amount of time. So I have 67 orders going out this morning, which need to be packed up. And that will take me like probably a good couple of hours. Now, there will be people that buy multi-orders, so they will be able to go into one package, which will streamline it a little bit, but it definitely takes time to actually get all this packed up. So that's definitely one thing you need to like consider. Going from, I don't know, 5, 6, 8, 10 in like a day to like 60 plus your normal ones. It does take its toll, it really does. But far and above everything else, yes, it's nice to get a lot of stock out the door. Yes, it's nice to make a little bit extra money, but now this is very much a theory, and I don't know if it's even possible to like check to see if it is correct or not. But what I've noticed is that I think, because I only sell on one platform, I don't sell on anything else. I don't sell on like Depop. I don't sell on Vinted, Vestia, or anything like that. I am a completely just a one-man band when it comes to like my platforms, which again, like who knows like if that's going to change in the future. But at the moment, I'm like happy with the way it's going. So yesterday was when it comes to my sales was terrible. So I think by 5 o'clock I had sold one item, which is like normally I would sell between 12 and 15 a day, roughly speaking. So 5 o'clock yesterday was horrendous, and it was a little bit worrying, but I knew I had my show. So if I actually got another like £300-400, it then suddenly like make it into a good day. But this is the bit that my theory, and I'm not sure if this is actually true or not, but I do believe that if you do everything that eBay wants you to do, they will reward you with not just traffic to your normal, like to your eBay Live, but I think that will trickle into actually the main store as well. So I'll quickly show you my day yesterday. Right, so this is my chart. As you can see on here, yesterday, it was like, I think I had £40 sale yesterday at 5 o'clock. But yesterday we ended up on £742. So that clearly means that I've got a lot more sales, whether that's like during the live sale, like they've gone onto my main eBay store, or it's a case of like I've just like been given a boost afterwards as well. I don't know, it's hard to tell exactly, but that's like turned into a very, very good day. So, and I'm really, really pleased. And I'm hoping like moving forward, that will be definitely something that like it will give like some form of halo effect. In other words, like you do everything that like eBay tells you, and that they will actually give you kind of like the people to look at your store. As long as you've got good quality items, priced competitively, hopefully you will get the sale out of it as well. So that's it. That's my experience on eBay Live. It's definitely something I would recommend. I do think it is a good platform. I still think there are some teething problems, which I've kind of found a little frustrating. Some of the back end side of it is like quite difficult, but all in all, I do think it's actually a very good way of actually selling, and it's very enjoyable as well. If you are a little bit out there, you don't need to be like a super confident. You can just like go on there and like, if you've got someone else with you, it's always nice to actually like bounce off those as well. But I do think it's worth considering, as long as you can actually get your cost of goods low enough, and you're happy with like the margins, then I think it's like 100% worth giving it a go. But what do you think? Like, do you think it's actually like worth it? Are you kind of working really hard for not a lot of return? Or do you think you would actually like give it a go? In the comments, let me know. So as always, I really do appreciate you sticking around. Hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.